Welcome to part 8 of my Campervan conversion series. In this video we'll be painting and reinstalling the ply lining back into the van. We reused the original wood, so I started by sanding down its rough edges. I also clamped some of the more warped pieces for a few days to straighten them out. This didn't make much of a difference, but it wouldn't be noticeable after we screwed it in later on anyway. Once all the wood had been prepped, I labelled each piece after checking which side would be facing outwards. The upper sections would be white and the lower ones would be green. We started with a base coat and then did 3 layers of colour. I'll leave a link below to a full item list with written instructions. I painted a landscape on one of the upper panels to give the van more of a personal touch. I drew out the rough shape in pencil, and then used cheap acrylic paint mixed with the green that I'd already used on the other panels. This would help it match the rest of the van. I added white each time to make the hills appear further away. I'd never made a painting like this before, but I was happy with how it turned out in the end. The last step was adding a few coats of varnish to protect the paint underneath. And once all the paint had dried, we were ready to reinstall the panelling back into the van. But before we could get started, there was one small piece of carpeting that needed to be done, as I hadn't realised the panelling was different heights on each side. If you haven't already seen our carpet lining walkthrough videos, feel free to check them out. With that out the way, the next job was trying to find the screw holes that were hidden underneath the carpet. We found the first one using a needle, and marked it with tape so it would be easier to find when we were screwing it in. And once the first screw was in, the rest fell into place more easily. We had to use longer screws in this section to account for the insulation and the carpet on top of it. Then I moved on to the rear doors. There were originally 2 layers of wood, one held in with clips and one screwed in on top of it. This made marking the holes much easier. I ended up shutting the door so I wouldn't be pushing too hard against the hinges. Here you can see how the warped wood was less noticeable once it had been screwed in. I used the same method on the side doors as well. If you're doing this yourself but don't have the pieces to use as a guide, I'd recommend marking the holes while you're carpeting the van, as it will save a lot of time later on. The last panels to install were the upper sections on the side doors. I used the original screw hole on the bottom edge and rested the panel in place. And then I used the needle again to find the next hole, but there wasn't enough space now that the insulation and carpet had been installed, so I'd have to make some new ones. I marked the points for the new holes about 1 centimetre further out, using the panel as a guide. After drilling the holes, we got the last 2 panels up fairly quickly. It definitely helps having someone to hold the wood up while you're screwing it in, as it has to be quite tight so it won't fall out or vibrate while you're driving. Here's the van with all the wood panelling back in place. The last step before we build the bed and cupboards will be reupholstering the back seats. I had planned to get it done in this video using the leftover material from the carpet lining, but I didn't like the colour or how thick it was, so I'll be doing it in the next episode instead. Subscribe to keep up with the series. Thank you for watching.